just getting set up here. Alright. Hey, how's it going? Man. Just getting this stuff set up. We're almost set up. There we go. Alright. So starting off, we're gonna mix up some of this in this spray bottle. I'm gonna keep on cleaning up that intake manifold. Then we'll pull up the Haynes manual once we get the intake manifold soaking a bit. And then like the Haynes manual, we're going to go ahead and look up the service information real quick on properly taking the valve cover off, the head gasket. Getting the head gasket out. So basically we're going to undo all the head bolts on the driver's side bank first on this 4.3 engine in the 05 Astro. So this is the concentrate that's being diluted with water. The spray bottle. Hi, how's it going, guys? Hi, Anna's Lifestyle and More. Sounds like a cool channel. I'm assuming it's a channel. Nice. All right, so there we go. We're gonna go ahead and spray down this intake manifold with this solution to help loosen up the grime on it. We did the first part of this yesterday, so we're gonna go ahead and do some more on it to loosen it up even more. And the material is like a cast iron, so we leave it on there a bit, then we rinse it off with regular water. Oh, I'll show you here. Nah, dude, no thanks. I ain't taking a sip. So this is out of the van. We're getting it, trying to get it cleaner and cleaner. It's got a lot of nasty grease and grime on it. So once we get this all good and soaked up, we're gonna go ahead and get into the van and start taking the driver's side cylinder head bank off for doing a head gasket. And we're doing it for preventative maintenance because we're already there for doing this intake manifold thing here. So the head gaskets were never blown on this. They've been in there for who knows how long. And since we're already there, we're going to change them. All right, so just a second here. It helps if I flip the camera, huh? It's like not too good either. Okay, hang on. There we go. All right. That's pretty good. All right. Okay, so this box over here, not related to what's going on with this directly. This is just going to be used for when we start disassembling that cylinder head. We're going to have, I'm going to label it with a Sharpie and chronological order of each piece that comes out. It's going to be labeled to match what comes out. So each thing that comes out, it's going to go in the exact same spot once we put it back together. That's what the whole point of this is for. This right here is for this degreaser. So we're just going to get this soaked in. Then we're going to work on the head gasket in the van. I'll show you. What we're trying to get accomplished by loosening this stuff up. We got a pretty good, I have a better light here, give me a second. I'll grab it. All right. How old am I? 37, almost. What about you? So down here is like what's called the runners for this. They allow air to mix with the fuel in the correct ratio. So the cleaner this thing is, the better the chances this thing's going to run correctly. Because all this stuff, let's say when you make this thing's being made, none of this grime's all in it, you know. It's not, this grime's just supposed to be cleaned out, not supposed to be there to begin with. So it's a lot closer to factory settings of all the dimensions and the volume and all that stuff. If this stuff's totally cleaned, or to the best of your ability. Ideally, I'd have like a parts washer, which would have like cleaning solution or kerosene in it. Kerosene's a really good solvent for cleaning this stuff. I'm gonna have to pick up some kerosene soon. Just get like probably put in a bucket and soak my parts in the kerosene. And then just use like a nylon brush. I do have a brush, so I'm gonna brush some of this and agitate it some with that as well. So this is out of the GM 4.3 out of my 05 Astro van. And if you guys haven't seen my channel or know any, following any of it, about 10 days ago or so, I got a 98 Chevy Blazer for like $300 off Marketplace. So I'm gonna be doing the head gasket in that as well. This thing has the same exact engine as that. The person like basically didn't want it anymore because they had a head gasket go in it and they don't know how to fix it, basically, you know. Same exact engine, like 90+% of it. This is just an updated version of the same engine. When I go through the looking up the parts for it, pretty much all the same part numbers for almost everything. So pretty easy. And this is going to be a little, maybe not as challenging as the doing it in the Blazer. They both, because this has the doghouse where you can get to the back of the engine really easy compared to the Blazer. I mean, even just spraying this stuff, it's starting to eat up, dissolve some of that crud. All right, I have a brush. I'm going to agitate some of it. And then we'll pull up the manual and we'll get started on taking the head gasket tear down procedure inside the van. Whoops. Okay, we have it. Yeah, this stuff's pretty good on this cleaning. Something you just don't, this solution, you just don't want to leave it on like permanently. But you can tell this stuff's actually working pretty good. This is just over a trash can. Because the cleaner this stuff gets, just the easier everything will go back together. And it's a lot easier just to work with cleaner parts in general. And like I was saying, it's a lot better chance of this thing running a million times better if everything's as clean as can be. And getting down inside of these intake runners, which is what these are called in here. Each of these is called an intake manifold runner, and it's designed to give it the right air ratio for the fuel, because your fuel injectors, each thing comes inside of these little holes here, like that, each hole. And they even numbered it. I'll show you. I'll try to. The light's not that good over this way, but see, this one has a stamp 6, 4, and 2, 5, 3, and 1 on this side. So that's corresponding to each cylinder that that's supposed to feed. So keep going over here a bit. Yeah, because like when the manufacturers, like I was saying, when they make this stuff, all this grime isn't supposed to be part of the equation. It gets in the way. especially if you're gonna put new gaskets and just grime in the way. You got a high chance of this thing not sealing correctly, having to redo it all. So that's why we're in here, cleaning it up and making it all nice. So I'll do another soak down, then I'll go over to the van. And like this is for, well, these two. I think this one's for breathing. But this is for coolant, for your water pump. This is your thermostat water pump. Inlet and outlets for water pumps. Yeah, it just makes it a lot easier to work on this in general. If this thing's the cleanest it can possibly get. Gotta get spray on that. Some in here. Alright, I got some paper towel. Kind of over spraying over here. Not really that bad actually. Okay. But, oh yeah, it's coming off. It's helping. I'll spray a little bit more and then we'll go ahead and go over to the van. Alright, we'll go to the van now. Take these off. Alright, we're going to pull up the manual. So, here we go, here's the manual. Oh, this is for the blazer. This is the kind of stuff this thing needs to get. Or from whoever bought it before me had this stuff. I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff got addressed. I'm pretty sure it has a cat already. I don't know about that. I know it needs this. If you've seen any of the shorts I made, there was a funny one I made. We towed it home about 20 miles on a car trailer in like 60+ mph wind plus the highway, and in the engine bay there's like I guess the previous owner, a heavy smoker, and there's a half a cigarette dangling by the engine oil pan for some reason. It survived being towed like 20 miles on the highway like that. So I made a short on it. You'll see the cigarette in the thumbnail if you want to check it out. Anyway, so this paper was in that 98 Blazer. Okay. Their concerns kind of thing. All right, so we're here for the service information for doing the head gasket on this here van. Here we're right in the doghouse. Yesterday I was working on cleaning this up with a plastic scraper for the intake manifold stuff. And if none of y'all know what the intake manifold is, I'll explain it. It's what that thing was I was just cleaning up. That's gonna go back into here, and we want it clean as possible. But while we're here, we're gonna take down, this is the driver's side bank, and this is the passenger side bank. These are called valve cover right here on top. Underneath this is bolted inside through here. There's what called head studs, and we're gonna look up the procedure because pretty sure there's going to be a procedure in this book and a sequence of which bolt to take out first in numerical order so that everything's done correctly. In that cardboard box I just showed earlier, that's going to be used to hold, it's called, I can see them from here, I'll point them out on this bank, but the same concept. This is what's what do they call that? Had a brain fart here. Your rocker arms. Yeah, your rocker arms, or not your rocker arms. This is your push rods. Push rods. These are going to be all put in chronological order in that cardboard when I take them down. So rocker arms are up top. They go off the valve springs. So your intake and exhaust valves, which are controlled by the camshaft, which the camshaft's down here in the valley underneath this paper that catch all this debris. Well, on top of that, there's since this is a V6 and it's based off the V8, it had balance issues, I guess, so they put a balancer redesign on this. Has the balance shaft on top above the camshaft. So anyway, so we're gonna look up this book right now. We'll pull it up briefly, and then we're gonna take down the driver's side bank of the head gasket right on live. Okay. Looks like we're in the correct vicinity in the book right now. Okay, cylinder head, here we go. And there's a couple engines in here because the early 80s, well, not early, like mid to late 80s, they still had a 4-cylinder option in this, and that's not relevant if you don't have that, obviously, right? So I'll pull this up, and then we're gonna go ahead and take the head gasket out. Oh yeah, also we have feeler gauges. That's part of this thing. I highly doubt it's even out of spec, honestly, because the head gasket's not even blown in this. We're just doing this for preventative maintenance while we're here already. So the straight edge thing, I'll show you. Get this light in here. This is like checking the deck of your cylinder head. See, these are in the picture. These are okay, that's the head, but the same concept for the block as well. They're checking all these spots, and then there's a spec for if the feeler gauge can fit or not underneath it, and it's supposed to not fit, so that it means it's sealed and there's not any extra gap tolerance to compensate for, or have the heads machined down or the block. It's to check for like the true flatness. But what we're looking for is the torque or the procedure for taking it off to begin with, and then we get into all this stuff once we do that, if that makes sense, right? Okay, here's we're just making sure we're following it correctly. I'm not trying to like race through it and break stuff by doing it wrong, you know. But I'm not trying to take forever either, you know. Okay, that's the 4-cylinder. We don't have that. Like I was saying, real important to make sure it's matching up with what you're reading, with what you're actually working on, because they have different engine information in here. It could throw you off if you're just not paying attention to that. I figured I'd tear down this, get the light, the head gasket stuff anyway. By the time, if I'm pulling out the head gaskets and pulling the heads, I have to clean up in there anyway, get it all prepped for the new gasket, you know. So I'll do this. Then once I get paid again, I'm gonna go ahead and order the new head gaskets and the studs. Start putting this thing all back together. Oh, and if you guys watched the live yesterday where I put the wiring harness in to try to get these LED headlights to work, I figured out the problem was I ordered the wrong adapter. Apparently there's one that's supposed to have a relays in it. I found it on Amazon, and that's the missing part of the equation apparently. It needs to have that because I guess these have like they're negative, or no, ground side switched normally headlights, and the LEDs run off of a positive side switch. So there's a whole like adapter harness, like kind of like a plug and play thing they sell on Amazon that should make those work. So we'll be getting that coming up here soon, so we can actually get these LED headlights working. Okay, we're gonna pull up the procedures for this teardown of this valve cover, and then the head gasket. You know, one bank at a time, which won't take super long, because there's nothing actually malfunction with the head gasket. We're just gonna do a pretty good cleanup of the heads and the surfaces, put new gaskets in. And we'll check the deck straightness and the head, because I got the true straight edge, and then I got feeler gauges as well. I'll have to go, bear with me here, we have to find the correct spot, because I'm pretty sure there's a correct procedure, like sequence, to take this down. More than likely it's going to be reverse of what it was to put it together, honestly. So once we pull up that, we'll start doing it right now. Okay. Let's go to the index, table of contents. Okay, table of contents. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Okay. Looks like we're gonna go to chapter 2, part B, V6 engine. So 2B -1. Okay, here we go. Here's where we start for the V6 engine. Alright, there's our distributor firing order. That'll come in handy real soon. I already got the distributor out and we got a new one all ready to go. Okay, here's our procedures and sections. That's what we're looking at right now. Oh, here we go. Cylinder head removal and installation. Section 8. Yeah, looks like what we're looking for. Okay, let's pull up section 8. Oh. Here we go. Okay, yeah. It says cover in the lifter valley, gasket scraper. Yeah, that's what we were just doing yesterday. So, that's good. Oh yeah, it shows I'm using the thread chaser like I was talking about here. Yeah, it's real important. Alright. So this is, yeah, section 8. Alright, so pretty sure, I don't even think it says anything in section 8 about the sequence of taking this out. I know there's a torque sequence of tightening. Oh, no, that's intake manifold right there. Okay, this looks like more what I'm looking for right here. Okay. Okay. 85 through 99. This is newer than that, so we'll keep. Okay, 2000 and later. Here we go. Yeah, this is like right on what we're looking for. Okay, oh, here's the removal. This is what we want right here. Okay, left driver's side. This is what we're doing. Okay. I already did this stuff. Okay. Okay. So this is right here. So we're going to loosen the head bolts in a quarter turn. So quarter meaning like quarter of a turn. That's more than likely that's going to be like what? 90-degree turns. Wait a minute. 90. Yeah, that'd be 90. Yeah. And is there a sequence? Let's see. Okay. Remove valve covers. Loosen rocker arm fulcrum bolts enough to allow the rocker arms to be lifted off the push rods and rotate them to one side. Okay. Yeah. Remove the push rods. Store them so they can be reinstalled in the same locations. Okay. And then we're going to use a new head gasket. Outline the cylinders and bolt pattern on a piece of cardboard. Okay, yeah. Sure to indicate the front of the engine for reference. Punch holes at the bolt locations. Okay. Yep, that's what we were planning on doing. That's what we got that cardboard box I was showing you guys a little while ago about. Okay, so it's saying big thing is lift the heads off the engine once you get it all out. And if resistance is felt, don't pry between the head and the block, so you damage the surfaces. So make sure we don't do that. All right, so we're about to get started on that. All right, so we're gonna start by taking off those 3 bolts you see for the valve cover here on the driver's side. All right. And then we'll move anything that's in the way here. And I think these are, they look like a 13. Let's see, I probably have a 13 sitting somewhere in here. So I had all stuff all over. I'm doing the intake manifolds coming out the other day. Another thing that's nice about wearing like these vinyl gloves, like the ones you see sitting there, like I have this service information book here, and I can take my gloves off and not trash my book, you know, because this stuff's all dirty, and it's gonna screw up, like make your book all nasty real quick if you're wearing dirty or you got dirty hands and touching it, you know. Okay, here's a 13. Let's see. It might be a 12. We'll check just to make sure. You always want to make sure you got the tightest socket on the fastener you can. All right, here's a 12. Let's try a 12. No, it's not a 12. Okay, so 13. Maybe even a ½ inch, but I think we'll go with 13. Okay. And then something to note is once I start taking this off, this is going to be out of a home for a little bit. So we'll set this aside with the whole thing. And then I had this glove over the PCV, which the whole thing's going to be exposed real soon. Okay, so let me see if I got a ratchet sitting in here. Let me grab a ratchet, and we're going to start taking this valve cover off. Then we're going to start taking the head gasket out in the head. Let me get you guys positioned in a good spot. I think this should work. Oh, that's like too close. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, we're gonna grab that box so we can put the punch holes in it to put all the stuff in the right order and whatnot. And grabbing a Sharpie and a ratchet. All right. There you go. Cutter box. Here's a ratchet. I'm going to start taking down this valve cover on the driver's side bank. Okay. See, I think I have an extension somewhere in here. Alright, I'll grab an extension. Here we go. Hope you're getting that frame. There's not a whole lot of torque holding these down. I think it's like 100 inch-pounds when I torque these back on for the valve cover itself, which is not very much at all. So if you take 100 and divide it by 12, because inch-pounds is, 12 inches. Or, hang on, I'm trying to do a bunch of things, but, it's not a whole lot of torque. Inches versus foot-pounds. Because, 12 inches equals 1 foot. So, if it's 100 inch-pounds, it's not a whole lot. Okay. It's like only one that I can get by fingers is that. So get them down enough so you can get them out by hand. Okay. Okay, it's still going. Couldn't tell from the back drag or not if it was coming with it. Let's try that. Yeah, we're getting it. Pretty sure there's quite a bit of threads in it, so. Okay, one just about out. Okay, we got one out. There we go. So this is what, we got 2 more of these to come out. me get something to put these in, because I don't want to mix these up with the intake manifold bolts. That doesn't make any sense, right? Probably got something sitting around to put them in. That's the thing, getting as many of these magnetic part trays as you can really isn't going to hurt at all. Oh, I got one sitting here. I got a couple. There's one right here. There we go. Also, I got these plastic trays. I think I'll actually take both. This is like some stuff I got for free at some giveaway thing. So a lot of these things are useful, like a silverware tray. Paid nothing for it, and it's got organizer slots. Perfect. You know? It's yellow, high visibility. So we're just gonna valve cover bolt, put that right here. We'll get the other ones out now. Then this tray you just saw, that's going next to here. And this will set over here. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Another one going right here. Okay, one more to go, and then we're into the valve cover. There we go. Same tray for that bolt. Here we go. We're gonna have to take this connector out. See that little pigtail where this wire is? That's gonna come out now because it's in the way of this coming out. Makes sense? Okay. So let's get that now. Let's see if I can get this position in a good spot. Okay, that didn't take much effort. There we go. And like I said, this thing is still, this is your oil filler tube. And then we have the AC compressor kind of on top too. So we're going to push that forward a little bit to make clearance for this. Let's get this in position so you guys can see it. I'll try to, okay. There we go. Actually, this angle over here looks better. Let's get this stuff put in a good spot so you can get a good idea of what's going on in here without feeling dizzy or disinterested. How's that? Just checking the lens here. That looks pretty good right there. Okay, let's continue. Oh, I bumped it. Let's make sure it's in frame. So I was watching through the stuff from yesterday. Some of the stuff wasn't in frame, so I'll try to correct that today. Gonna look for a good spot to set it where I don't have to hold it as either. Probably through here. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can get it to stay. There. Okay. Alright, we're gonna pull this cover out. There's all that goodness in there. Okay. Let's get this light. So if you guys don't know, this is an 05 Astro van. We're working on what's called the doghouse. This is part like in the cabin area of the van. And this is an access port that's removed to get to this area. Okay. I'm going to set this book aside because I'm going to need that real soon to make sure everything's going correctly. All right, perfect. There. All right. Just going to get all these things out of the way. Pretty sure this is, yeah, this is just floating. Okay, we can take it out. That's the HVAC thing. There we go. Okay, looks like we're cleared all the stuff in the way. Possibly. Yep. I'm gonna go forward with this. There. Out of the way. That's an issue. Hold on a second. That needs to go forward and it shouldn't be resting on the valves. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll show you what's going on. Okay. So this air AC compressor, let me get the light on it for you guys to see what I'm talking about. You see right down here at the get my hand on it. AC compressor. It's all detached from the mount bracket, but it's under tension because this AC line has a hold down right here where this bolt is, and we're just gonna have to undo that so this can come out freely, and that can get pushed out of the way so it's not being pushed like under tension, holding back and pressing against any of this stuff because we don't want any tension on this stuff. That's not good. So that's what we're going to do right now. I think it's like a 13 or something. I was in there recently. So I did the rear main seal on this a few months ago. There's some brief, not so high quality videos I made of it. There's some of my first videos. I've only been doing this for just almost 6 months. So, okay. So that bolt right there that's sticking out, that's what's got to get backed off so we can move this AC line. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm pretty sure I have a wrench the correct size to do it right now without having to go look for something. I may be wrong too, so we'll see. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like a wrench is going to be the best tool for the job down there because of the clearance issue. If you try to get a socket in there, it doesn't look that easy. Actually, we got this. I don't usually use these adjustable, but if it's loose enough, we can get it to break free. I usually don't advise using these because something that's really tight and you try to put it on there, this can round fasteners off in a jiffy if you're not careful. Okay. It's kind of big anyway. I'm gonna go. I can't. Hang on. Here's the wrench. I think. No. Hang on. We're gonna grab a 13. I believe it's a 13. Let me make sure. Here's a 16. Let's see how that feels on it. Oh. Might actually be a 15 or a 14. Oops. Yeah, it's definitely not a 16. We're gonna grab a few wrenches from those sizes in between, so it'll be one of those. Whichever one fits the tightest. Yeah, it's not evil. I still got this light here too. So. Alright, let's go get some wrenches. That's the thing you come to find out when you're doing this stuff, that you have to get stuff out of the way that's in the way sometimes before you can access the thing you're trying to work on to begin with. So just take that into consideration. So I like having a few spare vehicles to drive in the meantime while you're doing something considered a major maintenance procedure. Oh, this one's a 13. Okay, let's take that. Yeah, excuse this stuff. I gotta get like another toolbox or something so I could have like socket or the wrenches all neatly organized and such. Because I'm not a fan of the way this looks either. But it works for now till you get the stuff worked out. Hey, it's better than not having anything, right? Okay. Okay, here's a 13. This is good. What do we got here? 2 different 13s, a 9/16. And like I said, I'm not opposed to using a standard also. whatever fits the tightest on the fasteners is what I'm all about, you know. It doesn't matter if it's standard or metric. Okay, here's a 14. Once we grab a 15 for good measure, then we're good. Whenever we know, oh, here's a 15. It's a Harbor Freight, but hey, it says 15 on it. Let's go with that. And what's this? A ratcheting 14. I'll take that too. Okay. Alright, so what we're going with right now. So, like I was saying, we're going to take this AC line out of the way because it's being pulled backward. So we're going to take that out. And see if it's a 13. And I'll get the thing back in position. Oh, no, not there. That's a pretty good view because that's where we're going to be working, right in front of that light. Briefly. I'll bring you guys over to see what I'm doing. Let's get the focus. Okay, see where that stud is? That's what we're taking off so we can get this AC line out of the way. So it looks like it's either 14 or 15. Let's try these other wrenches we just grabbed. Okay, here's a 14. Let's try this one. I think it's a 15. Let's try the 15. We got some in here. Here we go. Fuel lines aren't in the way anymore because they were disconnected. So that's kind of nice. I think it's a 14 because it wasn't doing the 15. 15 is wicked loose. Honestly, I think this might be a try the semi-deep socket. I got the rail right here. Oh, cool. $14. Let's try a 14. If we can get the clearance, it's tight in this doghouse spot. I think I got the. What is this one? Yeah, I'll get the light on better. Dirt. 13. I don't think it's hard. Sometimes this stuff's in a weird angle, and to get the wrench or socket on is kind of a little bit of a challenge. And sometimes they throw you for a loop. Like lots of these will be a 13 or a 15, and all of a sudden there's some 14s thrown in there to catch you off guard, you know. Something. Yeah, that's a 15. I don't know why. Sometimes it's... I already took this thing off before, like a few months ago. It's a 16? Like, what is going on here? Okay, here we go. It's a 15. Try to get it in frame for you guys. There we go. Yeah, she's loose enough to do by hand. Let's get this light in a good area. Trial and error, you know. Oh man, you gotta love it when you can get it to move by wrench, and then you try it by hand. It's just not quite loose enough. You gotta keep trying again. Get it just a little bit more, and then we can take it off. And if you like working on this kind of stuff like this, I highly recommend having lots of, like, at least 2 sets of the same wrenches and sockets sometimes. Sometimes you just set them down, and if you only have 1 set of them, then you gotta like remember exactly where you left that tool. And when you're doing a job like this, stuff gets strewn everywhere. At least that's what I do anyway. I mean, being organized really is awesome, but it seems to be short-lived when you're tearing down stuff a lot. Okay, we got this thing to finally come out. Hang on a second. I'm going to set the phone down. No, I got it. Here we go. I just don't want to lose that nut. Okay, we're going to set it down for a second. Almost out. Then that little plastic tray, we're going to set this in it. There we go. We got it. Alright, we're back. That little bugger. Okay, where's the tray? Okay, here's the tray. And it helps me so I can reference in the future when I'm putting this stuff back together where I put any of these fasteners. Bam. Alrighty. Moving onward. Oh, see this? This ground's got to come out. Okay, what we were doing, getting sidetracked. I tend to do that sometimes. We're gonna get this AC line out of the way, or try to. Still got tension, so what we have to do is swing this AC compressor back a little bit to make the clearance to let it break free. At least that's what we're supposed to try to do. The AC compressor's down here. Being stubborn. There we go. That should have enough clearance to get out of here. Let's see if we can get in frame for you guys. There we go. That's better lighting. That helps. Okay, so see that orange? This is about to be taken off, so we can clear. No, we got it. Now this thing shouldn't be all like under tension to be in the way anymore as much. So we can kind of push it aside, or try to, or at least put it more towards the valley. Yeah. We're gonna try that. Oh, okay. These zip ties here, that's why. Because that was in the way for the intake manifold. We'll take care of that right now. Thought I had a cutter sitting in here somewhere. Oh, I do. Here we go. You just gotta... Oh, these don't have a cutter on them. That's inconvenient. Hang on, there's so many tools in here. Just keep piling them in here. I'm pretty sure there's something that's a cutter in here. I think that's got a cutter. Let's see. Jeez, looks like I don't. Let's grab a cutter. Yeah, because we gotta cut these zip ties. I'll show you what I was talking about. I had this zip tied up to be out of the way. You see this is that AC high pressure line. That's got the foam on it. If I can get, there we go. That thing with the foam right here is zip tied up to be out of the way, but that's causing there to be not enough clearance with that AC compressor to move out of the valve cover way. So we're going to cut those zip ties now. I'm going to go ahead and get the cutter to do that. Okay, let's go get the cutter now. All right, nothing super fancy. It's a pair of needle nose. I think these are vampires with the cutter thing. So we're gonna cut the zip ties with it. Here's zip tie number 1 getting cut. Get in focus. Not the lighting, but hang on a second.
It's dark outside here. This is Colorado, southern Colorado, so it's kind of hot during the day. So I try to do stuff during the darkness hours in the garage. Here we go. Now look at all that clearance we got. Hopefully. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Now it's not being bound up as nearly as bad. There. Now it's not resting all weird on my valve cover. Or the valve. Because the valve cover's off. The valve cover's right there. Okay. But then these lines really like to just get in the way, don't they? Unless you discharge the system, you got to deal with this stuff all in the way. I don't have a recovery machine at this point in time, but we'll work around that. Okay, now we can see. Let me get in focus with the light. These are called your rocker arms right here, inside your valve cover. Okay, so let me get the light on this. I'll get one. Okay. Alright, so we got a light anyway. I'm gonna get into a better position. So we're gonna be taking these out really soon here. And they look like they're, I'm not sure what size that is. We're gonna find out right now. Let's see, we got a 10 right here. Let's see if it fits. 10 millimeter. I'll get this camera steady. There we go. No, that's like an 8, I think. Let's see. We got a socket rail here. Let's go through it. Okay, the 8's taken out. Hang on a second. I have it. Alright, so I have that cardboard box, remember? If any of you guys have been watching at all this time, during this time of filming, that box is for, I'm gonna label where each one of these goes, because they're gonna go back in the same spot once we're done doing this head gasket. Okay. So we're gonna look for an 8 in here. Okay, I think I have an 8. Yeah, we got an 8 right here. Let's try this one. It's a semi-deep, but you know, I think that fits like a glove. So before we start taking it apart and not making sure everything's in the right spot, we're gonna grab this box and start marking it so everything can go into the right spot. Alright, here's the box. Okay, to make it convenient for me, it's gonna. Hang on a second. Alright, we're gonna get this box situated, then I'll show you what I'm talking about. And it'll be like roughly in the same shape as what the valve cover itself is. And then we got a pen here to mark it. The Sharpies kind of, I think they're inside the house right now. I'm not going in there right now. So pen works just fine as well, as long as you can read it and see it. So here we go. Here's what I was talking about. Piece of cardboard, okay? So like this, we're going to label the front of the engine right here. And then I'm going to label each rocker arm that comes out. Let's get it in focus. See? With the cardboard. So it'll all be labeled exactly where they came out of. So they go back the same way. Okay? Because once we take these off, there's going to be the head studs exposed. Okay, let's see if we can see. I think the head studs are actually in between them, maybe. Let's see. Yeah. That right in between that rocker arms be a head stud. That's all it could be, right? There's actually not a whole lot in these. These aren't actually really that complicated of an engine. And that's the beauty of it. Simpler is a lot less frustrating to work on. Alright, so let's take our socket. We'll set that there. Grab that pen I just got. Where did I put it? Here. Here it is. Okay, we're going to label this cardboard. So it's going to be driver's side bank. We can get it to right. There we go. We got it right. It doesn't sound like you're writing an essay to the president. It doesn't have to be the best handwriting, but it's you got to be able to read it, you know. Okay, and let's see. So we're gonna have to make sure we. So front drivers. Front of engine, okay. So we go through and proofread this stuff and make sure it makes sense, you know. Because this is our guideline of putting it back together. It's kind of important, you know. Front of engine, driver's side bank, okay. So if we match it up like this, and then let's turn the light. So whatever comes out from the farthest end away, it's going to go boom, 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 boom right there through the cardboard, okay? Does that make sense? And then we're going to number and label. Okay, see how many rocker arms we got. Let's get in the picture. So you see what I'm talking about. So 2, 4, 6. So 6 of them. And we kind of got to have a little bit of a spacing because they're going to take up some space. You got to take that into account, okay? Let's try this. Okay. We'll try to keep it in a straight line, but let's try it, you know. Okay. And 5 and 6 down here. Okay. Okay. Let's get the ratchet and start taking this down. We'll set this cardboard to the side. And then when we take it out, I actually have a paint pen in here as well. Okay. This we can mark right on the rocker arms too, just to be sure. Like say like right here, the number. Just to match it up with the cardboard, just to be extra sure. If they gets jumbled or who knows, it's going to go back to where it came from, okay? So we'll set this here. there. And we'll grab the ratchet and take these off. Alright, I think I'm sitting on the ratchet in a second here. Okay, no, ratchet's right here. There we go. Get the light in a better position. So according to the diagram, before we get started, we're about to touch number 6, which is written there on the cardboard. So when that comes out, everything from that section goes into the 6th section. Does that make sense? Okay, let's do it. And this shouldn't be a whole lot of torque at all to get these off. And let's get an extension, because it's kind of a funky angle. Okay, here we go. Okay, and our ratchet. There we go. So every single thing that comes out from this section will stay in the same section on this cardboard. To be sure of that, we'll stab this through the cardboard with the rocker arm attached to it. Get it. I'll move it over just so you guys can see it. Here we go. So number 6. Stab it right through. Okay, so it's locked in there. And there's no shadow of a doubt that that's where that came from to begin with, okay? Same with this push rod. And this is the top. So everything's gonna be the same exact orientation when we put this back together. So, and then this, like I said, I'll move it over so you guys can see. Oh, get it in frame more. Okay. Stab it right through. Or hang on, we got something to stab it through. It's not, doesn't really like the blunt end doesn't really want to go through. Pen goes through okay though. Just to get a little pilot hole. Okay. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Now let's do the number 5. These are actually aren't that hard. It's like almost no torque at all to get these off also. So let's get the light back in there and keep going. Ready? There. Okay, just like the last one, keep it right on with it. And we'll stab it through in the 5 position. Try to get it through here. Alright, the other one we got lucky. So we're gonna use these needle nose and stab a hole. Bam. Okay. Okay. I'll stab another hole for the push rod. Okay. Okay. And making sure that this is the side that came off from the top, you know. Make sure everything's in the same orientation as what it came out of, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. How's that work? It's not perfect, but they're in the right thing and I know where everything's coming out of. So that's the whole point. Okay, we gotta take these other ones out. Let's keep going. We'll get the right here. Get the light in focus. Better. That's a lot better. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. All right, now we're gonna put this into the cardboard in the section number 4. Okay, that's pointed at 2. Hang on. Get the light too. Hang on. Number 4, right there. We're gonna poke a hole. Doesn't have to be much of a hole, just a little pilot hole to get it started. Just makes it easier. It's supposed to. There we go. Okay, let's get the push rod now. Let me turn the light to see. Okay. Alright, I got the push rod. We're back in here. Okay. Now let's poke a hole for our push rod. Probably helps if you see it. There we go. I'm gonna poke a hole with these pliers, just like we did the other stuff. Okay. Okay. All right. 3 more to go, and then we can take this cylinder head out. That one's up. I'll move the light over here. I'm going to stab a hole for number 3. There we go. Okay. And we'll grab the push rod. There we go. Here, and this is the top, so the top stays upright. We'll stab a hole for that too. Okay. All right, 2 more. Let's keep going. There. There we go. Put this in the number 5 section. Make it simpler. Oh, probably help you see it, huh? Okay. Probably could have done this before, but we're doing this live, so you know, this isn't rehearsed, man. There, all the pilot holes are ready. This came out of number 2. Okay. Okay, I'll get it in focus and frame for you guys. Okay, there we go. There, number 2, and we'll grab the push rod that matches with it. And like they said, this is the top, the shiny part, and we keep it pointed upright just like it came out, okay? Right in that pilot hole I just made. Try to make this all nice and neat too. Like a school project or something, okay? Okay, now let's keep going. We got one last rocker arm to come. Start taking the head right out. Well, the head bolts. And then we're gonna have to undo these exhaust manifold bolts too to actually make this thing come right out, okay? And that ground wire too, which is, there's not like hardly any much things left to do in this. That's why since I was doing the intake manifolds, the spider injector, all that stuff, I'm already here. This is not that much farther to go. Just do the head gaskets. You know, even though the head gaskets aren't even bad, just doing it while I'm there, you know. You're already like 80% of the way, why not do it, you know? Makes more sense to me. I'm gonna take this extension off. It's not gonna have the clearance of that, so we'll just use the socket with the ratchet for the last one. 'Cause it's starting to obstruct into the side of the doghouse area. Alright. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. I'll get the light in a better spot. Let's try that. That's better. Not casting as much shadows and distracting as much, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, oh, okay. I can see the head stud bolts. They were hidden from the access with this stuff in the way. So we'll be able to get to that. Get up there and get this last bit of threads out. It's kind of deep in there. There. I think it's ready. No, not quite. There we go. And notice that whole rail comes out now. Give me a second. I'll turn the light. We already got a pilot hole already conveniently put right here to line up with the others. Okay, let's grab that push rod. Let's see. Okay. Alright. Okay, now we're getting to the... Okay, let's take this rail out. Same exact orientation. We're going to line it right along. Okay, I hope you see, huh? Line it right up with the way it came out. So this is like a cardboard mock-up diagram thing to keep everything organized that came out, you know. All right, now let's look over at the valve cover, or the valve. The valves. These are all kept in under tension. Those are okay. So it looks like we only got 3 bolts to come out. They don't actually have that much holding this thing in. So these look like a 13. Let's see if they are. I got a 13 in here. Oh. Yeah, we're about to... You guys tuning in right now, you're about to take the head gasket, or the head right out. Undo the head bolts. I don't think it's going to come out completely yet. We just have to undo those exhaust manifold bolts, which aren't that hard to get to right here. You can see them right here where my hand's going in, where I'm pointing. That's all that's left holding this in, and then the ground wire behind this light. I'll show you. Okay, you can just got a glimpse of it. This ground wire is not holding that in too, okay? And that appears to be the only things holding this thing in. So let's get the 13 on it and make it happen. Okay, that's a 14. Hang on a second. Looks like we're gonna... Looks like I got the 13s all pulled away. Yeah, we got a 13. excuse all this mess, you know, I've been tearing stuff apart and stuff just kind of gets put where it gets put when I'm doing that kind of stuff. So we're here for a 13. And that's a 4. I keep finding 14. I did a bunch of stuff over here the other day, that's why. I know there's 13 here. I have like 5 or 6 sets of 13s. You know what? There's a 13 right here. Let's use one of these. I usually keep this set right here for if I have to go to the junkyard or something. So it's a full set and bam, I can go and take parts out of stuff, you know. But let's see if it's the magic number. It's kind of loose. I'm gonna try a 12 a half. That's too loose. No. If you didn't know, 13 and a millimeter and a half-inch socket are really, really close in diameter. We used to have the stripped out head oil pan drain plug on the Dodges. I used to work at a Dodge dealership, and we learned to take a half-inch socket and pound it on with a hammer to get the rounded off one out, and then put a brand new drain plug in after. Look at that. Half hits better than a 13, okay? So if it's just okay, we're gonna go with a half. Okay, also, before I start taking this out, remember this cardboard here, we got the diagram. Okay, I'm gonna take my those pliers I had, or this pick. I'll use the pliers, and we'll poke some pilot holes for these 3 bolts that come out. Even though we're putting new head bolts in, but it's just you know, to keep things organized, because I need to make sure when I get those new bolts that come in that they matched exactly what the old ones did. And there's a thing called torque to yield, and like all these, pretty much every single head type of bolt you're doing with stuff like this, it's going to be called torque to yield, which means once those gets torqued into place, the metallurgy of those fasteners kind of changes from the torque, and it stretches the bolts, so they're one-time use. If you're I guess if you're super desperate and that's all you got to do it. But yeah, it's better just to use them one time and then trash can them things and get a fresh set. The new set is not that expensive at all. Obviously, I'm not putting old bolts for the heads. Not if I can help it. So we're just getting our socket on here. We're going to start taking this head off. I'm just doing it with one hand, so I'm getting this one-handed thing though. A lot better at it, so it's not nearly as scary as it used to be. Sometimes stuff this is kind of tricky. We're about to get it on there though. It's because it's got the locking. It's got that extra variable. You have to push the button to get it to go into position. Here we go. There we go. And yeah, these got more torque than the... Oh yeah. Before I start going to town on this, listen, hear me out. That book right there. We're going to do these out. Each one has to come out. Listen carefully, people of the internet that are watching me. Okay? If you're doing this book over there, it says 1/4-inch turns each fastener. I have to go boom, 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 1/4-inch, basically. Or no, it's 1/4 of a turn. Sorry, not 1/4 inch. 1/4 of a turn, so 90 degrees each one until they finally come out all the way to get the correct thing done. So the ratchet's starting this way. It's going to end up pointing this way for this first one, okay? Dang. Oof. I'm going to have to put a cheater bar on the end of this. Hang on a second. I got one right there. Let's grab it. So these suckers are put on tight. They're not just like those rocker arms that had like nothing. You probably get the rocker arms off with like 2 fingers. With the ratchet, it was like nothing. These are holding a lot of pressure from all your combustion gases and 4-stroke sequence going over and over again. So let's move this stuff out of the way. Okay, this stuff here. All right. This is just a jack handle from that piece of junk 12-ton press that I did a review on from Vivor. If you haven't seen it and you're interested in buying it, check out that thing, because that 12-ton press is junk. It bent the first time I used it. Let's try that. Just have to make enough clearance for this handle to come on. And then, like we said, it's only quarter-inch or quarter turn increments at a time. I gotta get this thing so you guys can see. There we go. Try to set this up here like I did before. Kind of in frame, not good enough though. Let's see. That's pretty good. If I can get to kind of balance in there. That's pretty good. I can move that, I think. Oh, what's up, Philip? How you doing, brother? You're doing it in a good time. I'm taking out these head stud bolts. So we take the driver's side head out on this. Yep, you got that right. This is the 05 Astro. Anyway, let's keep going. So this is only going to be quarter of a circle, 90-degree turn on each one of these until they're out all the way. It's according to the sequence in that manual that I have sitting over there. So here we go. Oof. I think I can take that off now. You hear that crack, that pop? That's it's letting go. So she's still good in there, good. So you guys are aware, this didn't have a blown head gasket either. It's just preventive maintenance. We're taking this stuff out while we're here already and doing the head gasket because it just makes a lot of sense to do it that way, you know. Or if you don't know, now you know. Almost up to 90 degrees. Eyeballing it, which is fine. There we go. Next one. Here we go. A lot of tension. This one's going to get that satisfying pop noise just like the last one. Here we go. Oh. Okay, a little bit more to go for the 90-degree. Okay, that's good. Next one. Here we go. Oh. Pop right away. And I bumped the phone. Let's see. Hang on. I had a good idea of where I left off on the sequence. Just don't want you guys to miss all this good stuff. Right, brother? That's what I'm saying. I'm already this far in. Why not? Why why go that deep and then not do it? Don't make any sense. It just needs a little bit more turn. Like that much. Okay. Next thing, another 90 right here. Boom. And then I don't have to use that cheater bar now. Just easing off the pressure is what the point of this thing is, my assumption. And it makes sense. A lot of stuff torque doesn't really, is not super crucial as it is with this kind of thing. This kind of thing, it kind of is. Kind of, like, seriously is. Okay. Oh, lost her thing. Maybe if I put the locking tab on correctly, that wouldn't have happened. Kind of like nice having that locking stuff with things like this. Okay. All right, another 90. Yeah, it's getting to the finish line on this. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Remember, I was saying I had to take those exhaust manifold bolts off too, and that little ground, and then she's ready to come out. She's still under a lot of tension. I can feel it when I'm pulling these out. We're not just in here with an impact, tearing it apart. Because when you do things the right way, you don't, have a tendency to do things the wrong way because you're just doing it the right way all the time. Okay. Remember, we're doing 90-degree turns. Because, yeah, I could just back them off all the way, but probably going to not good for it because there's a reason why there's the sequence, I don't want to do this job again if I don't have to anytime soon. So we're going to do it the right way. Because that's how we do it in my garage. Remember, this is a half inch drive socket right here. The 13 would fit okay, but it wasn't snug. So it looks like they use standard on a lot of the engine components on the insides of stuff. It can be like that sometimes. That's why I'm not so such a stickler about using just metric or just standard. Have them both, because then if something fits tighter, use it. That's what protects these fasteners from being all boogered up when your sockets and wrenches fit the best. When they fit the best, they're not rounding stuff off as nearly as bad. Especially if you're working in the Rust Belt. I'm not in the Rust Belt anymore, but I lived there 30 years of my life. And every time you try to touch these bolts, the rust is so bad, they start to disintegrate and slip. We're doing our 90-degree turns till it's all out. As tedious and silly as it sounds, it's really important. We take the service information seriously, especially on stuff like this engine component stuff. It's really tight tolerances, and there's a reason and a method to all this madness. They don't just tell you because it's to make it not fun and be a buzzkill. It seems that way. All right, Philip. All right. It's getting faster and faster now. still a bit of a tension, more tension on that middle one. Probably where I should have started for the middle one, but when I was looking on the service information, I didn't see a sequence that I was aware of. I know there's going to be a sequence for putting it together, but at least I'm following the 90 degree at a time, you know. Hopefully this is kind of helping people that are trying to do this stuff. So I was looking this up on YouTube, this engine, if people have done any good guides on it. The ones I seen had like a 7-year-old video, and the guy kept on like not holding the camera steady and talking so fast, and a lot of this stuff he doesn't hold it steady long enough to see anything in detail, and it's kind of annoying. So I kind of just made this for my own reference, more first and foremost, of doing this, so when I go to put it back together I can watch it myself. But if it helps anyone else, that's cool too, you know, because I'm sure a lot of people are using these engines still, not just myself, you know, and that helps. I use a lot of YouTube videos of stuff like this if I can get something that good guide. The details is so important, and it helps people, you know. It's got to be getting close to being out, hasn't it? Yeah, that one's got like nothing for tension now. I think they're just about out. That's just gonna take them right out. Put them in that cardboard. Let's try by hand. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. She's in the coolant. It didn't have a blown head gasket. That's just sitting in the coolant. See, they had the nice sealant. I have some sealant similar to that. That's going to go on the new ones. These aren't being reused, these bolts. I got new ones coming, or they're going to be coming. So just for reference, we're going to keep it in the cardboard diagram thing here, where we put everything in order. Let's see, I'll show you. See where they're labeled 1 through 6. Okay, so this one came from the far end, this bolt. So we're gonna put it in the far end on the diagram. Right here. And I already made 3 pilot holes to help get this in easier. There we go. Let's get the other 2 out. Okay, here we go. Okay. Last one. Okay, now we got to take that ground out that you see right here. That's got to come out. And then these exhaust manifold bolts got to come out. And it's nice because it's not the rust belt, so they can just come out without torching them or any of that insanity. Because Once those come out, this head's ready to come right out. Theoretically. Okay. If I remember right, these exhaust manifold bolts are a 13. We have a 13 right here. Let's test it. We'll have to go through the wheel well, which is nice because this has the 2-inch body spacer lift from Journeys, so it makes it a lot easier to fit through there. Oops. Okay, my bad, I pushed the button. Let's keep going. Let's see if it fits. Let's get a long extension and get these out too. Let's try. I felt like it was too small. Yeah, that's too small. I think it's a 14. Let's try 14. We got sockets right here. Okay. This is pretty much all that's left to come out, and then that head could come right out. Yep. Oh yeah, 14 fits like a glove. So let's get an extension and do this up. Okay, there's one that's got a long stud, so that's gonna need get that in foot. Yeah, there's one of the long studs, so we'll have to get a deep well for that one. Not a big deal. All right, let's get this long extension. Oh, here's a long extension. Okay, let me fit up the socket on here. Okay, let's grab my ratchet. Okay. Should be able to get to most of them with this setup right here. Try to get it in focus. Okay, I'm trying. Let's see if I can get the phone set in a good spot so you guys can see it. Oh, okay, man. I'll catch you later, Philip. Thanks for stopping by, though. Let's try to get this thing to set down so I can get a two-handed grip on it. This part's kind of challenging for the camera angle. Let's see if I can get it from the front. There's a lot of stuff out of the way, so we probably can do it right by the power steering. See. You can kind of see it. Let's just get them banged out. All right, that one's loose. Grab the cheater bar. All right, here we go. She's on there pretty good. We're gonna get it though. There, we got it. Okay, this one's got to do the same thing. And she's almost out. Oh, she's gonna come off. Okay. Put this back. And this is what's left to go. It's just the exhaust manifold. And then the head's ready to come out. The heads are all done. The rocker arms and the head studs. Those are already out. Get this in here. Got like 2 bolts left to go. Then this exhaust manifold's coming out. Then the head's coming out. Now we're locked up. There we go. There's a light that holds still. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. Alright, one more bolt to break loose, and then we can take the exhaust right off. Exhaust manifold. And we'll disconnect the exhaust too. The front Y plate. That's got to come out anyway. Almost there. Bolts out. Let's keep go right down the line. So close. Backed off. There we go. Okay, that one's out. Okay. Next one. that last stud one. Yeah. All right, let's get a little deep socket 13, okay? Here's a 13. Let's see if it's deep enough. This one's kind of shallow looking. Oh, wait a minute, these were 14, weren't they? Let's see. Yeah, 14. That's probably why. Okay, let's do 14. Okay, let's try that. That works. It's so close to fit. Let's try this thing, different angle. That brake line's kind of tricky to get around here. Okay, there we go. I think we can get it this way. Last bolt on this manifold. Now I just gotta disconnect the exhaust down pipe. It should be ready to come out. Brake line's kind of like right in the way. If I can just go right around it, I can get this. Not too much fuss. I'll try crow's foot on there. That might work. All right, let's see. Here we go. So that's a crow's foot. Okay. I probably pointed towards this way. I didn't realize we're just aiming at nothing. Okay, here we go. That last bolt is what we're taking out. So let's give it a shot. Alright, if I get a shorter extension, it looks like we can get it. That's like the trickiest one. I've already done the passenger side on this a few months ago of exhaust manifold bolts, and there's nothing really blocking it. This one has that little pesky stud right there. We're gonna get it though. It's let's just grab a grab the extension and get this last piece out. It doesn't need to be a long one. Oh, this one right here will go perfect. Yeah, this one should be right what we're looking for. Let's assemble the tools. Okay. So 14 crow's foot, and this is a 3/8 adapter. This should be the what it needs to get that clearance. Let's try it. Just gotta. Okay, there we go. And try to get it framed for you. Whoops. Okay. Right there. Oh, that's really close. Actually, it looks like I can just use a regular socket now. It's got just those little pieces of the exhaust manifold. They're blocking the way. But we need a deeper one than that Craftsman set because that one's not deep enough. All right, let's find one here that is. Pretty sure this proto sets might be deep enough. Oh, it's a 16. That was from the crank pulley. That's why that was sitting there. What's this one? 15. That's close. But yeah, these are definitely deep enough. We just got to find the 14 in here. Maybe this one. No. No, 17. We're real close to getting that head totally free. It's just this last exhaust manifold bolt. And then taking the pipe that connects to the exhaust off. And then the whole thing coming out. So that, it's probably over here. Probably on top of this, honestly. I put a bunch of stuff right here. What's this? 13. No. No. Okay. Well, I mean, if one of these fits, I don't see why not. Here. Let's see if this one fits. It's 1/2-inch drive, but it's okay. If it fits, anyway. If it has the clearance to get over that stud. And this shadow in my hand. It fits. How am I going to get the the ratchet right there with that brake line? Okay. That's a bummer. Let's see. I think I could probably go over it with a wrench from up above. Let's try that. Let's see how it looks from this angle. Yeah, I could probably get it from this angle. Okay, I can see it if I get it. Oh, 14, huh? Just try a regular wrench on it. Actually, yeah. If I had a 14, then something like one of these would be perfect with the offset handle. We're going to try to figure something out. They really put a little tricky situation right there. I'm gonna figure it out though. So I have some of these sockets and the wrenches that are like skinnier than the other brand names. They come in handy for things like this. We just got to get a 14 that's deep enough and skinny enough. Or long enough, but not too long. I'll check in this drawer. Okay, that's not it. Oh, this actually might work. It's 12 point, but hey, it might do the trick. It looks like it's got just enough clearance, possibly. If it does, then Stanley for the win. Let's see what we come up with. Yeah, pulling. Oh, I didn't realize you were saying stuff. Hang on. Yeah, pulling the engine's probably the best thing to do, since it's already got the rod knock, like you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Usually it's starting in the center. It should be okay though, because I did the 90 degrees at a time. And I wasn't all rough with it, so it should be okay. And then the other side, we can do it the other way. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This fits. Oh, hallelujah. Let's get this ratchet on there and make the dream come true. Let's try to see. So I'd like to get this done and not have to do much more on this van for a while. I'm doing a lot on it. Be like nice to be able to drive it. Yeah. Let's try. Okay, hang on. Let's try just putting the socket on the ratchet first. Okay, here we go. This way. And start right there. Okay, let's go. We got it. It's supposed to be. Gotta get the cheater bar. Let's grab it right here. Okay. If I didn't have that lift kit on this, I don't know how it's supposed to be done without dropping the subframe. You know. Oh, man, this one's a pain. Let's go. Oh, my hand. Ugh. Possibly, if I can get this handle to point upward into the doghouse, I can crank it off with the cheater bar from up above. If that has to do that, it looks like it's got to. I can't get enough clearance from it down here. Let's try that. Oh yeah, it looks like I can. That's awesome. Or try to anyway. Or at least stick my arm through here and try to do it from up above. Oh. That thing's hard to get to. But we're gonna do it. Oh, it looks like I can go from up straight up forward. Let's try that. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, okay. Almost. There we go. Let's go from the other part and get more leverage from that angle. Get this bolt out and go on with life, right? It's daylight now, which is okay. Okay, I can see it. This looks a lot better. And with that power steering pump stuff out of the way, a lot more access. Okay. Okay, lipstick touching. Oh, it's just that lines. Okay, I could play. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the right direction too. Yeah, that's gotta be. Okay. Let's see if we can get the cheater bar in here now. Looks like I have to put it on first. This is a tricky bolt. I got it broke loose. I think I can get a view for you guys right there. Let's try that. Kind of. I'll get it in position. Oh yeah, it's coming off now. This is the last bolt to go on the exhaust manifold. Then it's just disconnecting the exhaust underneath, and then we can get the head out. Not much room to turn the ratchet here, so that's why you're hearing a bunch of thumping and stuff. But like I said, it has the 2-inch body lift spacers from Journeys, so if I didn't have that, I'd probably have to drop this subframe to do this. Honestly, it looks like it's easier to drop the subframe if you're already tearing it apart anyway. Still too tight to finger to turn it, so we'll keep going. There we go. Hallelujah. And that's just a bolt too. That's not a stud. I thought that looked like a stud. That's weird. Okay, yeah, I guess it does have a stud on it. It's just a longer version of the same thing. I'll show you. Okay. That one's the worst out of all the ones I took out. And then, let's see. What's left is just this exhaust. These right here. Get the light out here. Those three right there. Three. Yeah. Those three right there is what's holding on to the exhaust manifold. So that'll allow that to come down once I take those out. So we're going to do that now. And let's see what they are. I wonder if they're 14 also. I have to look at the screen more because it looked like it was fine. And then I looked at the screen, you're looking at a piece of bar with nothing, you can't see nothing. There we go. That's what we're looking at. Let me switch hands. Try to just mock up the socket without the ratchet. And these feel like a 15. Alright, let's grab a 15. Ugh. $15 deep because it's got that little bit of stuff protruding off it, so it's just a 15. I think, pretty sure. Yeah, it's 15. Okay, let's use that. Okay, here we go. Yep, 15. Let's do all that up. I don't think these are that tight because I had this off earlier. Because I had to drop the oil pan, that's why I had it out. I was trying to think why I did. Because I did the oil pan gasket and tied a chain cover and remain seal earlier. Oops. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna put the extension back on. Otherwise, there's no clearance. So let's do that right now. Okay, put the ratchet back. Okay, there we go. Now let's do it. Okay, cool. These aren't super tight. Yes, this should be the last bolts, and then let's can go up top and take the head right out, the driver's side head. I think these are all fingerless. Let's see. Yep, awesome. Trying to get it in frame for you guys. There we go. Oh, gonna need that. Put it together with the other one. Look at these. It's really clear, the studs fall out. Alright, looks like I gotta go back down further and then take that off too. So it has enough room to back off. I gotta do this side anyway, so I'm gonna do this side too. So let's do that now. Here we go. Let's go around. Here we go. Right here. Oh crap, the light just tight. Let's get a different light. We get that light and we'll keep going. Okay, I see one. Just a second. We got a light. I
we're back in business. Let's keep going. Oh, too far down. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. Alright, so we just have to take this exhaust piece off, and then that head could come right out. It's the only thing holding it up now. And if you're watching this, is watching it live right now. I'm doing it right now. It's not pre-recorded. Alright. Doing this stuff one-handed. Most of it. Sometimes I can choke up when it holding it, but not really. So I'm gonna disconnect the O2 sensor to give it free hang clearance, you know. Okay, there we go. Get it out. Hang on. Okay, it's almost out. Just being a little stubborn. There we go. Wow, almost out. Bam. See that? Now it can droop. Okay. We'll have to do the other sensors as well, but though before we do that, use these two nuts and bolts. Let's get those out. Okay, let's do that. Those are a different size because they were all boogered up and I changed. Yeah, I'll have eggs, yeah. Let's take this socket sent down there. Alright, let's see what size these are. If I can't exactly remember. That's too small. What is this one? Oh, those are standard. Okay, let's try this one. 12. Okay, this is okay. What's this one? 14. Okay, that fits. We have a winner today. Okay, so we just have to go down this way, take out these other fasteners, and we're good to go. I don't think we need this one. Okay, let's take this down here. Drop the exhaust tape. Keep going. Like dirt in my mouth. Alright. Right up here. If I can get it to, okay, there we go. That's what we're taking off. And once this exhaust comes out, the head's ready to come out on the driver's side. This is the only thing that's holding it up still. Okay. There we go. We got it on there. This last one. Okay. I think that's good and enough clearance. Let's check. Let's take a look. Let's try that. Yeah, we gotta get a socket on it. Let's try that. Yeah, let's grab a socket. Don't want to round the head off on that. Doing it with a wrench that's barely on all the way. It's not even on all the way. I'd rather deal with that thing the way it is than it being rounded off and then messing with it. I think I left the 14 back here. Alright, let's see. Yeah, 14. Okay, that's all. Exactly what we need. Okay, let's get in there and get it done. Let me make sure I brought my ratchet in here. Yeah, I probably should grab that. Okay. There, yeah. I don't know why I just left the ratchet. Oh, I probably thought I could get a wrench on it. That's probably what I was thinking. Okay, let's do this. Let's grab a shallow 14. I guess this deep one's not gonna work. Yeah, what is this one? Oh, 15. Okay, that makes sense. Let's try a wrench on it. There we go. Oh, I got a 14 right here. Let's use this one instead. Just do that. Gotta turn it. Okay, that way. All right. I think I broke it loose. Maybe not. I'll try the socket on it again. Oh, perfect. I forgot I got these right here. This should work. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Let's put that on. Switch it out. Okay, now let's try it. See if I can find the shallow 14. That's what I need. I can't get these wrenches either. So let's try that. Let's try this. Let's get it on there. go back and find the right size. All right, let's try this socket. Yeah, I think that'll work. Wow. Huh. Yeah, looks like it's got to come off by a wrench. Let's go get a wrench. Again. Let's try the crow's foot. We didn't try it in this spot. Maybe it'll work. Crow's foot. Okay, let's try it. From that angle. I just got one bolt holding up the show here. And that one don't fit. Yeah, we gotta use the wrench. Let's grab the wrench again. There's that bolt that we've been fighting.
get it. No, the tolerance is so tight there that you can't fit the box stand on it either. Oh. Looks like it's getting kind of, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's try looking through the wheel well. Let's see if we can get some kind of weird angle. Because we ain't getting nowhere inside here with it. Alright, I guess I need to lay down here. Okay, this is hard to see in here. Let's just do it by feel. Okay, I feel it right there. I'm gonna go from underneath. It's too tight in that spot. I think I see it. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Okay, looks like there's a whole nother set of bolts under here. So I'm gonna get them too. I've already done this on the passenger side too, but yeah, let's get it. This longer wrench will work perfect for this. I grab the other light. I can't see anything good here. Okay, let's try with that. Okay. Well, at least that frost shield thing comes out of the way to make room. And get the camera to show it. Yeah. There we go. Yeah,
That's not quite pointing what I'm trying to see. This exhaust should be ready to pull out. Just have to pry it out. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it off here till this part, guys, today. But I mean, you really get the picture of what you got to do. Once you get this exhaust manifold off, you can go ahead and pull the cylinder head off. If you've been following it all, what I've been doing during this live stream, I already got the cylinder head all ready to come off besides the exhaust manifold. That's what we've been fighting with for past hour plus on the driver's side bank, okay? And if you've been watching it all, I appreciate it. You know, if you like this kind of thing and stuff, I appreciate people that subscribe that like this kind of thing, you know, and we can bounce ideas off each other and things like that. So thanks for staying tuned. Stay tuned for more to come on this coming up. And thanks. Until next time.